Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the action sports world, you've probably heard the expression, I'm just gonna send it, like hold my beer and then raw, whatever we do. Well, today I'm gonna change that to I'm just gonna pin it. Because in order to send it, you gotta pin it to make it work. But I realize that sometimes what I have to do, especially in a situation like now, is I need to put a pin in the relationships that I just can't repair right now. And by doing that, like, I'm not avoiding it, I'm not sweeping it under the rug, and I'm definitely not going to throw it into my closet full of skeletons. I'm going to put it right up there on the board and know that when the timing is right, then that will allow that to heal. And it's interesting because I kind of thought I was ready to do that and just wanted to gung-ho try to fix everything, realizing that if the other party is not in that same space, it just doesn't work. As I'm realizing this, I have to look at my notes here again. I realize that I'm actually stepping and jumping into an entirely different timeline in my life. And it's really exciting. It's taken quite a journey to get here. And a big part of that was discovering who I am. And when I began to see who I am, or am, who I is, I really fell in love with Brian. I fell in love with myself for the first time in my life. And in that, I realized that the best thing that I can do to show up whole in a situation is to discover me and to love that. And one thing that's different in a situation like a relationship breakup, like what I've recently gone through, and not and then when you have children, it adds a whole new level of that. Who I was in the past, like, I know that was the best I had, and that's the biggest way I've been able to forgive myself for all the crazy shit that happened. I know I was doing my best. The truth is, my best was an absolute train wreck shit show, and it left a big wake of destruction, and that stuff doesn't heal overnight, and I realize that now. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting a pin in those relationships with my ex-wife and my daughters. I love them so much and I'm here for them, but I think it could take years for this, if it ever heals. I don't know, but I trust that we'll get there, because there is a ton of love. And but that's what I've been able to do. I just pin those relationships right here on the wall like a post-it note. It's like, it's right here. I love it. I'm not ashamed. I know it's where I am. It's what I created with where I was. And I know that going forward, the best thing that I can do is work on myself, make myself whole, so I can show up in a space where I'm ready to be the other half of that healing journey, in my fullness. And so if you're in a situation, if you find yourself in situations like this, number one, if this is coming across your feed, obviously you're going through an awakening and your own spiritual journey, and it's very powerful. And if you, not if, but as you're going through stuff like that, ask me how I know, you're gonna face some bumps. You know, you're gonna face some things. You're gonna be in relationships that sometimes just don't resonate with your new frequency, your new timeline, wherever it is that you are. And I just want to encourage you that it's not the end of the world. You know, even if you feel really comfortable with mending and healing, they may not, and I'm sure they have their damn good reasons for it. You know, we're all human, and we do stuff, you know, that causes problems. It's just part of relationships. We're in this all together. But I understand now that sometimes the most loving thing that we can do is to set something gently aside until we're ready to hold it again. And yeah, that's how I'm doing it. So we're just pinning that, and as I pin those relationships, then I'm able to send it. You know what I mean? I can just go and do my thing, and you're witnessing it right now, literally as it's happening. My entire view on a lot of things in life has completely just expanded to a point where I understand we're all doing our best. We're all pure gold in our hearts, just like if you doubt that, look at a picture, like a baby picture of yourself, you know, or a little picture when you were maybe a toddler. Right? I've been going through some of my pictures as a kid, and man, it's just like pure gold. Like, that's who we are. That's our origin, you know. And to be able to know that that's been in us the whole time, and it's gonna be difficult for the people that were around when we were just covered in shit and just doing the best, you know, hurting and misery and hurting other people along with ourselves, which I did. You know, I did that. I can't undo it. I know I don't want to do it going forward, and that's why I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking steps to find something that resonates with me, like a new home or apartment, whatever, a little tiki hut on the beach. I don't care, you know. But it's something that where I can just be in that resonance to just heal myself even more, you know, and then give my family an opportunity to heal without the trauma of having me around 24/7 or whatever, you know. So but I just want to encourage you with that's what I'm going through right now. I accept it for what it is. I own my responsibility in it, and I know that going forward, I don't know, guys working, that's how we do it in Florida, constantly running weed eaters. And I'm right here, I'm looking at, I don't know if you can see it. Check this out. Hold on, I'll pull it off of here. Raw. Okay. Can you see that? Can you see the bridge? I can't tell. Anyway, that is downtown Sarasota, and then that is they call that the Causeway Bridge, and that goes over to Bird Key. That's where all the super famous people live and everything, and then that goes over to Lido and Longboat, and one of the other beautiful islands on here. And this road is what they call the North Bridge to Siesta Key. So I'm about to go do some visualizing of my place and what it's going to feel like to just open the door, walk in, fire up my Barista Express, and sit on the porch and watch the dolphins swim out in the Gulf of Mexico, America. That kind of thing. I'm Mexican, so that kind of annoys me. But it's all ours, and yeah. So let's pin it together. You know, the stuff that's just holding us in a. Okay, I love it. I'm gonna pin it right there. It's not going anywhere. It's gonna. When I'm ready, when they're ready, it's gonna come back together, and then we can work on a divine timing healing plan. You know. And then until then, I'm just gonna send it on what does feel good, and the relationships that that we can vibe, and that we don't have all this, past and trauma and, train wreck shit. Honestly, I've been a train wreck for 55 years, you know. And could you imagine a train wreck that was for 55 years just kept wrecking, like piled up freaking train cars, box cars, gas cars, grain, you name it. Like 55 years of that just piling up. Like that's the train wreck of Brian, you know, God's honest truth. And it's finally like, okay, I think the last few, you know, big box cars done their stuff, you know. And now, you know, when the dust settles, you just start picking up what you can salvage, and what you can't, you don't, you know. You melt it down and make more train cars. So thank you for following me along this journey, and please comment, you know, in the comments below. I love it when people watch my videos, and if you like it, you know. I hope to put out more content like that's valuable to you and your journey, and I know it's super valuable to me and mine. And so let's pin it together, and we'll send it too.